Well, with the election lost and Biden put out to pasture, Democrats are leaking like a busted sink. This bombshell report reveals Biden was even worse than we thought.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Brylan. He finally did it. Check this out. Trump revokes Biden's security clearance, citing his poor mental acuity. But don't worry, guys. There's plenty of classified information in this mangled box next to the Corvette in Biden's garage to keep him busy.
And by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage. Okay, so it's not like you're sitting out in the street.
I'm going to show you his actual post about this that he did on his social media. But Trump also took similar action against the former intelligence officers who signed onto a letter decreeing the now infamous Hunter laptop as potentially misinformation. To see more on the absolute insane exposure of the corruption of the last 4 years and really in our government for decades, go watch my latest video, Breaking Biggest Scandal in American History Uncovered. Hey, would you consider hitting that thumbs up button? You know when you like this video, you're not agreeing with the insanity, but you're helping push this video out to more people to help spread the truth. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to get daily videos to stay up to date with all the current news. But here's the official post. It says, there's no need for Joe Biden to continue receiving access to classified information. Therefore, we are immediately revoking Biden's security clearances and stopping his daily intelligence briefings. He continued, he set this precedent in 2021 when he instructed the intelligence community to stop the 45th president of the United States, me, from accessing details on national security, a courtesy provided to former presidents. The Hur report revealed that Biden suffers from poor memory and, even in his prime, could not be trusted with sensitive information. I will always protect our national security. Joe, you're fired. Now, this is true. This is something that Biden actually started. Listen to this. This was back when Biden first took office.
Let me ask you then something that you do have oversight of as president. Should former President Trump still receive intelligence briefings?
I think not.
Why not?
Because of his erratic behavior, unrelated to the incident.
I mean, you've called him an existential threat. You've called him dangerous. You've called him reckless.
Yeah, I have, and I believe it.
What's your worst fear if he continues to get these intelligence briefings?
I'd rather not speculate out loud. I just think that there is no need for him to have that intelligence briefing. What value is giving him an intelligence briefing? What impact does he have at all, other than the fact he might slip and say something?
He might slip and say something. This is the man who, you can see the decline in Biden the moment he took office. Before that even, I mean, come on. But, you know, the left, the radical Democrats, have lied to the American people for years and years and years about Biden's condition. And then after the disastrous debate with Trump, they suddenly turned on him. Now remember, it was the left that turned on Biden when they wanted to install Kamala Harris.
The Wall Street Journal editorial board had a very strong statement about it, saying the public understands what Mr. Biden apparently won't admit, that electing an octogenarian in obvious decline for another 4 years could be an historic mistake. It's impossible to know Mr. Biden's real physical and mental state because the White House goes to great lengths to hide it, but his decline is clear to anyone who isn't willfully blind.
Wow, scathing remarks there. Remember, it was the Biden administration, the left, every Democrat, they got their marching orders to convince you, the American people, that Biden was up to the task of being president and that everything he was doing up until the debate with Trump was going really well, that he was totally fit to be president, there was no mental decline, and anything that you suspected was just you being a bigot, you spreading misinformation, all the things. You were all the things if you saw what was happening right before your very eyes. In fact, it went as deep as even Mark Milley covering up for Biden. This was back in a 60 Minutes interview when Biden had first become president.
President Joe Biden has been portrayed by his political opponents and even some of his allies as too old to be president. I'm not asking for your political opinion here, but how does he seem to you?
I would just tell you that I meet frequently with the president, and every single time I meet with him, he is just fine. How people interpret that is up to them, but I engage with him frequently and alert, sound, does his homework, reads the papers, reads all the read-ahead material.
Even Mark Milley trying to cover for Biden, and you can see when he shakes his head no as he's lying to you.
He is just fine.
It's a dead giveaway. I mean, this goes deep. I mean, this is a major scandal. In fact, so much so, go watch my video called One of the Biggest Military Scandals Ever. I just put this out a week ago. And again, it'll shock you what was uncovered going on in the last administration and within the military under Biden. Unless we forget that Biden weaponized the government. I mean, just full-scale, all-out, essential war on the American people and on Christians, conservatives. And it was Trump that pardoned the pro-lifers that were imprisoned by the Biden administration for literally peacefully just standing outside of abhorrent clinics. And in fact, for more information on those stories and how Biden weaponized the justice system against pro-lifers and Christians, go watch my videos. They really don't want you to see this. And this happened when a man was found guilty for being a Christian. These videos will show you exactly how the justice system was weaponized by the Biden administration. In fact, I think Josh Hawley says it really well here. Listen to this. This was just recently.
There is no right that is more sacred to Americans than the First Amendment right to liberty of conscience, to liberty of worship, to liberty of free expression. These rights, Mr. President, are more than words that are written on a piece of parchment. These rights are solemn commitments that Americans make to one another, commitments that undergird our society, that establish its moral foundation and basis, that testify to the world that we are a society built on liberty, we are a society built on conscience, we are a society built on the right of individuals to follow the call of God on their lives, to respond to that call as they feel led and as they see fit, within, of course, the bounds of the law. These rights, Mr. President, this foundational right to the liberty of conscience, the freedom of religious worship, the freedom to follow and respond to God, this is what establishes us most fundamentally as a free nation. This is what gives us our moral character as a nation. And it is what has defined us as a nation, the largest Christian nation in the world since our founding. But I have to say, Mr. President, no administration in the history of this country has assaulted these rights more deliberately, more fervently, more grotesquely than the Biden administration. For 4 long years, this administration carried out one persecution after another against people of faith. It started during the COVID era with their shutdowns and lockdowns when they targeted religious communities, evangelicals and Catholics and Orthodox Jews. It continued with their use of statutes to go after Christians and other religious believers who objected to abortion.
Listen to this about what Democrats had to come out and say about the Biden administration. The truth.
Oh, with the election lost and Biden put out to pasture, Democrats are leaking like a busted sink. The Wall Street Journal talked to more than 50 Biden insiders to find out what's really been going on in the White House for the last 4 years. This bombshell report reveals Biden was even worse than we thought. Joe was AWOL most of his presidency. During major disasters like the Afghanistan withdrawal, congressional leaders couldn't even get a hold of him. The Secretary of Defense almost never met with Biden, even during the Ukraine and Mideast wars. Biden treated his cabinet the same way he treated his illegitimate granddaughter. Cold shoulder. Interactions between Biden and many of his cabinet members were relatively infrequent and often tightly scripted. At least one cabinet member stopped requesting calls with the president because it was clear that such requests wouldn't be welcome. When people did meet with Biden, which was rare, they were told to keep it simple so Biden could focus. But most of the time, Biden didn't want to talk. If the president was having an off day, meetings could be scrapped altogether. He has good days and bad days. And today was a bad day. So we're going to address this tomorrow.
The system was able to do the damage that they wanted to do with Biden as president because they could just get away with it willy-nilly. Again, there's been, just in the last 2 weeks since Trump has been president, the amount of scandals that have come out, the amount of information that has come out that has been exposed about what was actually going on under Biden's administration, the weaponization of the government under his rule, the complete incompetence of him as the actual president is just astonishing. But now that the tables have turned, again, the elites are seeing that they have been exposed and they are terrified. Just go watch my latest video about the biggest scandal in American history being uncovered. It will blow your mind. Like, this is everything that we've known, by the way. Like, we've been saying this for years. It's been clear, the weaponization of our government, the corruption, but to see it actually all unfolding and having actual evidence, receipts, documents, footage, to back all of it up, it's just wild to actually see this stuff and to really be vindicated in what Christians, conservatives have been saying about the government for years and years and years. Look at Proverbs chapter 18 real quick with me. Starting in verse 5. It is not good to be partial to the wicked or to deprive the righteous of justice. A fool's lips walk into a fight, and his mouth invites a beating. I love that verse. A fool's mouth is his ruin, and his lips are a snare to his soul. But hey, let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, join this community. I would love to hear from you on a regular basis. And please hit that thumbs up button, when you like this video, to get pushed out to more people, and it would really help spread the truth. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.